Alright, today we're making chicken tendies. In the past, I've just had the breading pre-made in the freezer, and we're basically out. And today, Cheez-Its were buy one, get one free, and cornflakes were on sale, so I'm stocking up, and we're going to make a bunch of the breading first. So, to make the breading for the chicken tendies, you need one box of Cheez-Its. This is the 12.4 ounce one. You need one box of the 9.6 ounce cornflakes. And then you need 2 tablespoons of Montreal brand steak seasoning. And we're going to be making a lot of this. Clean that up later. So you might think that it makes sense to just crush these inside the bags they come in. That's a big mistake. Do not do that. These bags are basically tissue. Instead, we're going to put them inside the nice, thick plastic bags first. So, it's 2 tablespoons of the steak seasoning. We can just add that in first. Grant, what are you doing in there? Alright. That's about 2. Technically, it's you can go a little over 2. It doesn't really make much of a difference. Yes, Grant. Yeah, this one was out. That's why I got the other one. Where did I put my garbage can? There it is. Grant, make sure you clean up when you're done in there, okay? Yeah, we'll go. Let's try this to account for that. Put you over there for now. Where's my garbage can over here? Alright. So now, each of these gets 1 bag of each. One bag of cornflakes. Yeah, look at how that teared. Imagine putting any pressure on these things. Tore. Teared? Is something is teared? Torn? I don't know. Each of them gets a bag of Cheez-Its. Oh my god, those things open fast. These are just the regular Cheez-Its. I guess in theory you probably could use a different flavor if you wanted to slightly change the flavor of your tendies, but these are just standard. Yeah, zip it up about 2/3 of the way. There needs to be some air to escape, otherwise when you try to crush things, the bag pops and explodes and makes a mess. Don't do that. Alright, now we start the mixing process. You'll notice I have 2 other bags prepared. That's because the act of crushing things actually does damage the bag enough that eventually you need to transfer them over to a different bag. Continue the crushing process. So the last thing you want is a bag that's going to leak open. Make a mess. So after you've done the initial crush, you can kind of shuffle them around, crush it upside down, kind of get the mixing stuff around. Bring it up a little bit again. Ow. Stab it. Cheese it into your hand sideways. Then what you can do is fill it up, get some air, get a really good shuffle going. You can see now everything's like starting to mix. Open it up, get the air out. Ideally, you want to get to the point where it's like this size. This is what we have left. That's enough for tonight's dinner. You might think it's easy to use a rolling pin for this. It's really not. Just don't do that well. I'm just better off just kind of like throwing it down a little bit. Now you can see this side is starting to get more crushed. Reaching the end of its life. You can see the oils are being pressed through the holes in the bag. This is why I'm wearing gloves, by the way. You think, oh, you're not touching the food. Yeah, Dad, trust me, I'm touching it. Yes, I mean, it's basically the little ones sink to the bottom, the ones that need to be crushed sink to the top, so you just keep crushing the top. And basically we're going to keep grinding it until it's this nice fine consistency. And I also have this other bag to go, so we'll check back in once this stuff's ready. Okay. The breading is done, measured out 3/4 a cup, which is about 70 grams if you want to do it by weight, which is arguably the best way to do this, but because it is so, fluid-like, you can use a measuring cup. 3/4 measuring cup. Got some buttermilk. The oven is preheating to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, we don't need that much. We're only making 6 tendies, I think. Those are going to go in the freezer when we're done. Oh, actually, I do need to grease up the wire rack. I'm just using the aerosolized vegetable oil. That's only partially toxic. For now. Got the Tendies, these were pre-sorted out. before. They're defrosted mostly. Partially defrosted. They're defrosted enough. Whatever. They'll cook. That one's mostly frozen. Okay. You know, you're supposed to cook them for 17 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes. I think this batch is going to be a 20-minute batch. Just to be safe. Really? Frozen together? Come on! Got it. Is it on the charger?
I have the charger. I gave it to you.
Okay, then it's not on the charger. Is it upstairs in your room? Alright, yeah, 3/4 a cup is like the perfect amount for 6 tenderloins.
Well, I gave you my charger.
Yes, and you can take the charger back. I just needed it to plug into the TV. I guess in theory you could use a little more if you wanted to have like a bit of a buffer, but yeah, if you were just making this recipe once, then yeah, you could make a lot. I don't like to be wasteful because then I can use as much as possible. Well, I can use as much as possible over time. So like exact perfect amount. There. Alright. Oh, nice. My glove had a hole in it. Delightful. We're going to put these in the oven. We'll put them in for 17 minutes. We'll see how they're cooked. And, yeah, we will check back in when they're done. God, I didn't pause. Where's that? Okay. Chicken tendies are going to be done in about a minute. Got the place settings all set up. We're getting sauces ready. These go really well with barbecue sauce or buffalo sauce. Grant likes the regular barbecue sauce. Guy likes regular barbecue sauce. Becky wants just the buffalo sauce. Guy likes a little bit of buffalo sauce. George wants a little bit of buffalo sauce. Got some drip action going on. George likes the spicy barbecue sauce. Dinosaur barbecue sauce. That's the good stuff. Ready. Oh, and we get those out. good stuff. All right. We will let those cool for a moment, and then people will dig in. And everyone is here. They're ready to eat their chicken tendies. How'd it turn out, Grant? Grant learned how to use a knife recently. He's very good at it. Good job, Grant. George, you're going to eat while they're fresh.
But Guy, he's playing on my Switch.
Okay. Guy, get down here! Put your video games down!
Cindy? It's your video game. So, can you set up Mario Kart?
Yes, I will set up Mario Kart.
Me and Guy can.
Yes, you guys can play on the TV.
Me and Guy can continue our only bullet-filled item.
Yes. So, fun fact, with all the breading, these tendies come out to about 100-ish calories, depending on the size. They're actually very lean. Tastes good?
Mm-hmm.
Grant, how is it?
Good.
Did you dip it in the barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
The regular barbecue sauce, not the spicy? That's the good stuff. Careful, you're losing pieces. Oh, boy.
I didn't care.
I know you don't care. You're not the one that cleans the floors. All right. I think we're just about done.
Subscribe, thumbs up, not thumbs down. Comments that are actually like.
Yes. I think we're done here.
Good comments. Wait, no, ring the bell.
Yes.
Watch more videos. And on those videos, add like, subscribe, and comments.
Grant, what are you doing?
Well,
Are you stopping it?